The lessons. You see, something that is of great importance in life is this, that when you face challenges, you work to make sure that you have solutions to those challenges. She didn't dump her idea. She didn't say it wasn't working. Oh, this thing is not for me. I think I should throw it away. But she re-strategized around the idea. You understand? There was a time we're speaking, we're discussing, and my colleague asked, when do you think is that time? When do you think it's time that you say, okay, I'm going to drop this? So now I will encourage you. You don't stop putting out your ideas there. You don't stop. For instance, I'll tell you something. If your ideas can be stolen, that means they are very good. If your ideas are not good, nobody will think of stealing them. And whether the idea surrounds you, whether the business is built around you, or it's separate from your person, what remains and what is important is that drive, the vision, your purpose on that, and the passion towards that idea cannot be found anywhere. It is unique to you. So keep it going, keep your head open, keep thinking, keep ideating, keep creating solutions. No matter how much they steal, they can steal all, right? So that is my belief. That's my belief. I share my ideas anywhere, but be wise, because you don't share the key ingredient. What differentiates you from the person you're sharing to? You don't share that key ingredient. You don't share your secrets. So you have to identify what secret it is in that idea and keep it. So my name is Ada Innocent. I'm the program manager of Terraskills Learning Systems Limited. I welcome you all, and you guys look vibrant, handsome, and beautiful. Welcome once more. So I'll be discussing how Terraskills is bridging the digital gap. She's been talking about her challenges, and what you see is whether we like it or not, whether we want to truly accept it or not, whether we want to identify with it or not, the fact is there are people who require your know-how, your wealth of experience, the skills that needs to thrive in the digital space. So we can't hide it. We have the Nigerian factor that tends to want to frustrate these things, but by majority of private organizations, we are gradually taking Nigerian workforce is gradually being taken by private sector. So whether we like it or not, we'll find ourselves having those interactions with the private sector. Since the government is failing very soon, we will soon begin to hear that they want to privatize even Aso Rock. So we prepare for that. All right. So now, I believe you are being hosted. You are already aware that you'll be hosted by Terraskills, and I welcome you again. I know you've been welcomed appropriately, and I don't know if you've been told about who we are. So I'm going to share this with you before we continue. We are an innovative tech company that specializes in skills development and lifelong learning systems, ICT, digital economy, training, research, and consulting. We have been operating since 2004. It's been a long journey. We've learned, we've developed, we've re-strategized. Just the challenges any entrepreneur will face, we've faced it. But with that purpose in mind, we'll believe, and we've worked hard to ensure that what we deliver is different and we have results to show. Right? And I continue our pursuit for excellence and empowering our learners. We conducted 10 years of tracer study research to check the impact of our training on our successful learners. And we discovered that over 85% are gainfully employed and receive favorable commendations from their employers and colleagues. So, you see, what we do is working. Why? And you realize that at the end of this program, you see that the wealth of experience that have been given to you will add to that experience. You see, you connect to the experiences being shared. You've asked questions, right? That's because you feel it. You've been there, right? So you connect with these things, and that is the purpose of programs like this. You see, so you see why whatever we do is impactful, why we ensure that it changes the way we think and the way we do our things. So now, I cannot talk about how Terraskills is bridging the digital gap without talking about one of our products, the digital literacy skills. We have 12 products. The digital literacy skills is one of them, and this focuses on digital literacy skills, as the name implies, right? It focuses on training. We're a training firm. It's for an array of individuals who are interested in becoming tech savvy and having the necessary skills, technological skills, to develop and enhance their careers. So you realize that you were able to create create ideas around ticketing, and without technology know-how, you see that you begin to ask yourself, even if you are given that idea from above, because some of us will believe that ideas come from above, and that's when you see you share your ideas with someone, and someone will say, yeah, I've been thinking of that same thing. Or you had this idea, you felt it's novel, felt it's so novel, it's new, it's just in your head. That is why you said, when you say you were in the class of people that think you die with your idea. I want to surprise you. Just go. You have an idea. Just go and search about that idea. When you're trying to study, you find out that you'll be shocked you're not the only one that have thought about it. You see, so sometimes those ideas are already existing. There are businesses that have been doing very well. But sometimes our subconscious minds play tricks on us. You will not realize that you've even come across such idea. You just came and it's novel. Okay? So, but the technology know-how, it's very important in the private sector, if in the public sector, whatever sector, even if it comes to the point where you want to create your own business or work on your own idea. You see, we cannot shy away from it. That is why DLS, digital literacy skills, is very important to Terraskills, and that's why we talk about it all the time. We do some stuff about it all the time, and so on. So now, to answer this question, what does the digital landscape look like? It's just a continuation of what I was trying to say, how important it is that everybody is digitally equipped. Digitally equipped, we're equipped with skills, necessary skills, tools that will ensure that you can make the best out of the economy you find yourself, out of the world, because we are in the knowledge-based economy right now. Whether the application is practical or whether it's the application is you are delivering application like in the sense of training, you see that it's important anyway. Now, the first one, the rapid and widespread digitalization has changed the nature of work. You see, there is the idea when we've been looking at job adverts for some time, using the Guardian as the Guardian newspaper as a template for gathering those job adverts to look at the skills required, skills that are needed in the workforce. You see that whether they are looking for an architect, whether they're looking for civil engineering, what becomes very interesting is the connections between one job to the other. They require some digital skills you need to know. I was being asked recently about an architect not knowing how to use AutoCAD, for instance, or other tools available to them to bring out a more live form of their drawings on paper. You know, there was a time where an architect would draw and you don't even know what he's talking about. You don't see how it looks. You just, pencil and paper, you just have to look for somebody else that can interpret what is there. But we've come to the time where the architect does his thing and you can see it and you like it. You say, no, I want this roof. No, I think this side. You can make your choice, you can make your adjustments before you even begin implementing. So that is one good thing about it. Employers are actively seeking employees with digital skills. You see, the workplace is changing, so that adapting to that change is very crucial. It's very important that employees and applicants who prepare themselves to adapt to that change. That is why you see a friend of mine was joking. One of my colleagues were joking and said, if you go on leave, for instance, and you are not being asked a question during your leave, that means you're not. Nobody calls you. You're not important. Nobody calls you. I'm trying to put on this thing. It's not working. What is it? This thing is stuck. How do we get it out? That means you're not important. You see, your employer begin to say, nothing has changed. Do you think we need this guy? So you see, we need to be able to adapt to those change that occur, right? So the third is, while the demand for digital skills is high, the supply is low. It's factual, something very true, something we know, we see, we feel, right? You see people, companies asking, putting adverts out there and asking for people, for instance, who know how to use Tableau or Power BI, for if the job requires that you know analytics, data analytics, for instance. You see, they are no longer interested if you're a microbiologist. I'm a microbiologist by training. They are no longer interested if you read public admin. Nobody is interested if you read mass comm. Can you use Tableau? Can you use Power BI? Can you analyze and interpret data? Are you good in data visualization? Voila, that you were looking for you. Where have you been? My GM shared a story with us and said, somebody on social media, somebody said he went for an interview and they said if you're sharing a story and you're laughing, that means you have taken all the laugh. So let me just hold my laugh. The young man was in an interview in front of an interview panel, and the panel asked, "Oh, you know Tableau?" The man was shocked. He said, "Tableau? Who put it there?" Who put it? Who put it there? He was shocked. Now I can see why. There are lessons both sides, right? Probably the person designing the CV for him felt, okay, you're going for this job, and one of the requirements is that you know Tableau. All right, so it will be another advantage if I put in your CV that you know Tableau, right? Yeah. Right? So now they have sifted through the CV and selected the people they felt very competent to take on this job, right? Sieved out others, selected the 5 competent hands, and now it was time to interact with these competent hands and see how competent they actually are. And the young man was shocked. Who put it there? Yes. Man, what is Tableau? I don't know. You see, it's important that you become very variable when you know the skills. So along with digital skills, you see, Terraskills, we are seeing why Terraskills is bridging the digital gap, right? You see that we have 12 solutions, we call them, right, to problems we see Nigerians facing day in, day out. So now we realize that no matter how competent you are digitally, you need soft skills, for instance, to communicate. You need to be able to communicate effectively. You must be in a team, for instance, right? You are a competent graphic designer and web designer, right? But you need to get the instructions on what to do. We want a program, we want a product, we want to design this product in this way, we want to make sure it looks this way. And when you face challenges in ensuring that you can build that, you don't know how to communicate. You don't have the good, effective interpersonal skills. You see that it becomes problematic. You become isolated from the team, separated from the team. You don't have the capacity to integrate properly. No matter how competent you are digitally, you see that you gradually become an outcast. You can't even utilize what you have. So we understand that, and that is the reason why we have other, for instance, the Terraskills Career Advancement Program, and so on, that have other soft skills to augment with the digital literacy skills. So now, what is driving the digital gap? We have seen what the digital landscape looks like. I believe I don't know, right, that we've come to terms with it. These are things basically knew beforehand, I believe, and we are coming to terms with it. We are realizing that this is actually what the landscape looks like. Employers looking for more hands that are capable to drive these and so on. So what is driving that digital gap? We've seen we can put the demand, the short supply, and the heightened demand therein. But however, let's look at this. Digitalization and the application of emerging technologies accelerate demand for digital skills. Every year, for instance, I want you to try this after this session or after this program. Just go online and say digital marketing tools. Just say that, nothing more. You see, digital marketing tools for 2021, for 2022. Yeah. So as the year goes by, advancement, there's advancement in technology. And somebody, for instance, let me surprise you. You know, a good graphic designer will realize that I can use PowerPoint for any design I can do on PowerPoint, on CorelDRAW, on InDesign. I can use it. That's because PowerPoint left 2007, 2003, so on 27, 210, 213, 216, 219. So, you're right, yes, 21. So if you get stopped, I sent a document to someone and the person called me. Why? How did you do this? This thing is just all joined. It's combined. How did you see? I know you can do better than this, but this is to say you take me for granted. So as she was ranting, I went back. I opened. Everything is okay here. Yeah. So what is happening? Man, she was still in 2007. It's the compatibility. There were compatibility issues. You see why that change is very necessary. You see, you have to keep changing with the change. You understand? Keep upgrading. Keep reskilling. So, yeah, well, not this kind of change anyway. So, yeah. All right. So, traditional modes of education alone may not be keeping up with the employer's needs. We know. I just use that as an example, as a practical example. I'm a microbiologist. I do graphic design. I do web design. I'm a data analyst. You see. But I'm a microbiologist. All I was taught in school were microbial physiology, microbial biochemistry. We were taught about, I think you are a microbiologist as well. I see. Yeah, she understands. So, you see, there is nothing. And the amazing thing is what technology is doing in biotechnology. What am I saying? I just wanted to bite my tongue. What technology is doing in biotechnology. You see, microbiology is a very important aspect of biotechnology. So, if technology was not aligning properly, the technology bio will not come to make a good compound word. So, that is what is actually bringing about this gap anyway. Digital and social inequalities affect opportunities to develop digital skills. You see, our facilitator, Mrs. Marvel, was just talking about the Nigerian factor. And there was a time she raised the question, she raised a topic about, I think, the cost of something thereabout. So you see, for instance, cost of data, thank you very much, and cost of everything, those things that are needed. And we have to realize, I told someone we have a graphic design class coming up, and he said, how much? I said, 100,000. How I pay 100,000? I can go to YouTube and learn it. I said, congratulations, go to YouTube. See, you don't have, it is not arranged in a way that it can teach you how to do these things. You need the class, you need the guidance, you need the direction, you need the mentoring, in-class mentoring, to ensure that you are capable to really deliver. So it's important that you take that into consideration and you realize that, let's look at this. Put together the amount of data you spend online to learn what you later feel at the end that it wasn't sufficient. Put these things together. You see, we like piecing monies into smaller values and say, okay, no, it's not costly. I have to use 1.5 now. 1.5 next week, 2.5. That is 2.5 is not. But when you put these things together, the time you spend, put these things into perspective, you realize that you're spending more. So that is it. So now, the COVID-19 pandemic has amplified the urgency to create conditions which effectively leverage digital solutions. You see, one thing that shocked me, I'll say shocked, now only surprised because it really shocked me, was when the lockdown was being implemented. You see universities all around the world saying, okay, there will be no need for Nigerians or foreigners who school there, just go home, continue learning. I felt so bad for those coming to Nigeria because you can't find the data to continue with that online, the infrastructure, and so on. So now you see Nigerian universities, I started seeing the solutions the government was bringing. Say you learn through radio. It's no longer a dialogue system. It's now a complete monologue system. You don't understand, go and anything you want to do, go and do. So, however, the pandemic made, you see, workplace became lean because of people started working from home. You go home, you work collaboration, but you find out that most people do not even know how to utilize the collaboration tools. You see, even Office, you can collaborate with Office if you're using the original Office, Microsoft 365. But if you don't know how to use it, you can't collaborate. It became a... Yes. to pay. So, yeah. So that is what is making the digital gap very now. How Terraskills is bridging this digital gap? You see, we have been able to come up with courses that tailored to our needs, what we need most, and broken down into segments that address the very challenge we face, and to ensure that we can apply what we learn to making our lives better, whether individually or as an employee in an organization. So you see, we have marketing here. Under marketing, these are individual courses. Blogging, for instance, electronic presentation, for instance. You have digital marketing. You see, there are courses you find. Let me make something clear here. At Terraskills, we utilize a unique learning system that we believe that had been, through research, we have adapted to ensure that it actually makes the difference we seek and we require. That is why you see when we tell people about digital marketing and you look at digital marketing out, we are not talking about the same thing. We are talking about actual application-based and applicable digital marketing, what you can actually use, learn and use and see the outcome. Okay? Now, under design, we have AutoCAD, we have graphic design, web design, UI, UX design. So these apply to all of the courses I've been talking about. Now, under data analytics, we have Excel data analytics, we have QuickBooks, Power BI, Tableau. These tools help you analyze data, make you more, gives you the feasibility. Let me say the SEO of skills. It optimizes your presence, right? It's the search engine optimization of skills. Whenever you put this as what you can do on your CV, you know everybody wants to see what you can do. Whether the job role require that you know how to use them or not. There are added advantage. People say, okay, no, you are talented. That means you can interplay between roles. You can do this and do that. That means I don't need two people. I don't do this often, so you can do these things. So you see how important this is. Then we have Python programming and coding for kids. You see, all of these programs are programs that run throughout the year. The next batch of training, for instance, we have out there the web design and we have the graphic design. So there are Saturday programs. Why we look at this, we decided to make them Saturday programs because we know how busy people are. And to tell somebody to sit down during the week, even if the person is actually not working, the person might be doing one or two businesses and so on, and might not really want to sit down, relax, soak in what is being taught and learn. So that's why we made it a Saturday thing. So it's going to be starting on, I think, April 30th, right? Yes, that is when it's starting up to 18th June. So we have those two programs coming up. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for nodding and accepting. Here it is. So thank you very much.